So we are going to learn one gatha. This gatha is inside this box over here. Since these fonts are small here, we look at using a document. The gatha says Dadatu Punyam Pavaddati. It says by giving merit grows. Sangemato Vera Nachiyati. That means no risk is stored for one restraint. That means you are controlling your faculties. Kusalochi jahati papakam. He who is skilled abandons evil things. Raga dosa mohakyasa nirbhitoti. With the exhaustion of lust, hate, delusion, he attains complete extinction. This gatha is appearing in Mahaparinibbana Sutta, and its discussion is there in the Pitagopādesa. So let us look at that discussion that in the Pitagopādesa. It's in the English book, page 314. For one who gives, that means the ground for making merit consisting in giving is stated. No risk is stored for one restraint. The ground for making merit consisting in virtue is stated. One who is skilled abandon evil things. He states the abandoning of greed and delusion and ill will. With the exhaustion of lust, hate, delusion, he attains complete extinction. He said the driving out of will, lust for greed, delusion and ill will. It again explains, merit will grow for one gives, one who gives. This is the profitable route, non-greed. That is correct, isn't it? Because if you are giving something, then you need to give up your greediness for the thing that you are giving. You are donating a shirt. Whatever the greed that you have for the shirt has to be given up. So that is correct. And again it says no risk is stored for one restraint. That is the profitable route, none hate. That is correct as well. If I am not restraining my faculties, then I look at someone, then I get the covetousness. The next millisecond, I will find some fault like a pimple, and then I get the sadness. And then what I get, comparing the two, what I used to have, what I get, then you get the differences will emerge. So therefore this aversion is there. So then you are going to the hate. So if I am controlling my faculties, then I am not going to get hate. Because I don't look, I don't see that particular person, and then I don't find the fault as well. One who is skilled abandons evil thing is the profitable fruit, non-delusion. With the exhaustion of greed, hate, delusion, he attains complete extinction. He alludes to the fruit of path, arahantship, and the extinction element without trace left. That means, in the Buddha, no longer there, nothing left. So in that case, it is this the final attainment and of Nibbana. And again, it explained further, merit will grow for one who gives. By his giving, freedom from fear to breathing things. The abstention from killing breathing things gives freedom from fear to creatures. That means you are not going to kill animal. You are, there is an animal to be killed like a cow, slaughtering. So you go to the slaughterhouse, pay the price, and then rescue the animal. So then you give the freedom from fear. It's called abhaya dana in Pali. So give the freedom from fear. In the same way, all training precepts can be cited. In other words, you are refraining from killing means you are getting rid of the other bad ones as well. So you get the other precepts as well. No risk is stored for one restraint. He restrains cognizance by establishing it in virtue. And when he is restraining, his virtue come to fulfillment. In other words, if you are restraining, your virtue will grow and become fulfilled. So that is the discussion in the pedagogy. There are some other discussions as well about it. So let us go back to the Gatha, having kept this thing in the mind. So we have written down this Gatha in these 4 boxes by giving merit cross. Dadato punyam pavadda. And the below you can see no risk is stored for one restraint. Sangimuto veran nachiyate. He who is skilled abandons evil things. Kusaloch jahati papaka. With the exhaustion of lust, hate, delusion, he attains complete extinction. Raga dosa moha kyasa nibbutoti. This one has been written in a, you can see there are 4 columns here, and they are in the middle, between the first one and the second one. Tomorrow we will be studying these things, this painful way with slow realization, painful way with quick realization, and these realizations we are going to study tomorrow. So now, by giving merit course, we are going to start with this particular one. You see, there are things that you do to accumulate merits. One is this, you are offering Buddha these candles, these flowers and so on, sometimes food and so on. So young people, when they look at it, they ask the question, what is the point of you offering these things to a statue? The statue won't eat it. And although they actually say it that way, what you are doing has got merits in it. What you are doing is, Bodhisattva, the one to be enlightened, he took quite a lot of pain because of us. He wanted to become the Buddha and take us out of the suffering. So he sacrifices quite a lot. Now what you are doing, you are offering flowers and so on, and that you are actually paying your gratitude for what he did. So if there is gratitude, then it is the opposite of Makka. This derogation. You are not taking out of the qualities, you are actually remembering those qualities. So therefore the Makka is gone, derogation is gone, therefore there is this merit on that count. And you become skillful in that case. And again you do this meritorious deeds like giving alms, food to the Buddhist monks, doing charity and so on. So they have these merits as well. And then there is another one. And then Buddha was saying this Sabbadhanam Dhammadanam Jinati. Out of those givings, giving them Dhamma is the best one, the bigger one. And there is another dana, or the giving, that you are rescuing a cow or an animal from being slaughtering by from the butcher. You pay 50,000, maybe $500 or something to the butcher, and then sort of save the cow from being slaughtered. So you give the freedom from the fear for the cow. So let us start from that one. Let us say you have a chicken in your garden. So you can do 2 things to that chicken. One thing is that you can kill the chicken and eat it. The other thing is that you don't kill the chicken and let it live. Those are the 2 choices. Let us say you kill the chicken and eat it. So if you are killing, then you violated the first precept, the refraining from killing. Secondly, that chicken never told you that please sir, have my meat. So you are taking what is not given. So you are violating the second precept as well, taking what is not given. On the other hand, if that chicken has got some sort of a lifespan inherited with the birth, then you are taking that lifespan away from the chicken. So you are stealing that one as well, you are taking it away. So you can see by killing, then you are stealing as well as you are taking the lifespan. Now take the next decision that I am not going to kill that chicken. So in that case, you are refraining from killing. On the other hand, whatever flesh that chicken has acquired by birth, and you let the chicken use that one and live. So you are refraining from taking what is not given. And on the other hand, whatever lifespan the chicken inherited, and you are letting the chicken to use that one and live. So you are not taking the lifespan. So that is what it said. That if you are not killing, then all the other precepts has to be included in that one. Because they are linked to each other. Killing means stealing as well. So taking the lifespan and so on. And what you do after killing the chicken, all the other things will come. So they are gone as well. So that's the point that we are going to start with. How do we enter this particular cage? This meditation is easy over here. Here you are trying to enter into this particular box. To enter this box, easiest way is that you recall to your mind whatever meritorious deeds that you have done. Alms given to the temple, constructing a temple, providing raw materials, and rescuing an animal from being slaughtering. And some people are thinking rescuing ants, in the water, they are dying, and then you are putting a stick to rescue. That one also counts. So that's how we enter. It's written over here in the left side, gladness. Pamojjam pachu. The day that you give, alms given to the temple, you are very happy because you have done meritorious deed. You can even tell somebody else as well. In that day, if a beggar or someone is coming and asking me, let me have something, you are really happy. Even if you have not eaten, you are happy to give it to the beggar. You have this one as well because of your mind is now in a different world. You have uplifted in that one. So the gladness. So you are glad by giving. So therefore gladness becomes the condition for enter into this one. And the cause is that you don't have the greed. That is the cause. If you are donating a shirt, you need to give up the greed for the shirt. If you are giving the monk food, for that food, whatever greed that you have, you might be giving something that you want to eat as well, but you are giving to the monk. So the greed is you are getting rid of. So then that means you are getting rid of the stinginess as well. Stinginess regarding things as well. The stingy person can't give. So the cause is getting rid of. Cause is the non-greed, and then the condition is the gladness. Pamojjam pachu. So having entered this cage, this particular box over here, then you are going to go into this second one. No risk is stored for one restraint. Sangimuto veran nachiyati. For that one also there is a condition, there is a cause. The condition is determination for relinquishment. Chagadittam. That means you want to get rid of these things. So this is the place that you are getting the rapture. This meditation is rewarding in the sense you get the rapture and happiness. Now you recall to your mind, how do you get the rapture? You recall that day I rescued that cow by spending, 50,000 rupees or something. So I am a person who can give up 50,000 rupees. The devas in the Deva world, gods, how they arise over there. They have the generosity. They have done meritorious deeds by giving and sort of thing. Now you think, I also have that ability. I also can give up. That day I could give up 50,000 rupees. So by that time the rapture started flowing in your head. That is the point. The Chagaditana. You are giving up. If I constructed the temple, I spent that much money for the construction. So I could give up that much money from my wealth. So when you recall that one, you are becoming very happy, and because you are uplifting that I also have these qualities. So that is the condition to have this one. And then this wise attention is the cause. What is wise attention? We think in terms of this impermanent, suffering, not self, and so on. And on the fourth day, you are actually learning how to do the wise attention in a thorough manner. But have we done any impermanency meditation so far? We did, isn't it? The first meditation, that was the impermanency meditation. And again, have we done the suffering meditation? Yes, we did. We did this morning and yesterday and so on. So we have done that. So when you look at the suffering, remember birth, aging, sickness, death. And then you were talking about the pain and sadness. Sadness is suffering. How do I get the sadness? When I look at somebody, I get the covetousness first. And then I find some sort of a fault, like a pimple. Then I get the sadness. So if I know the sadness is a part of suffering, why would I be? Why would I get it? So since I know it is contemplated about the suffering, sadness, I don't want it. So that becomes the cause for entering this one. So when you enter this cage, the no risk is stored for one restraint, that part, that idea, then you can see that your virtue come to fulfillment. Why it is coming to fulfillment? That because they take that chicken's example. Then the chicken, you took that second decision, I am not going to kill. So you let it live. Let us say you are a poor person and you don't have anything to eat. The first day you said, I am going to kill it. And then after a few days' time, there is nothing in your house that you can eat. But so now you are a person who is restraining. Now what happens if you are not restraining? The chicken is going there and then you are looking at it. Then you can see, you might think, well, I can kill this one and eat. You know, there are in rural areas in Sri Lanka, I have seen people who are actually weighing the chicken while it is living from the mind. This one has got 2 kilos at least. You know, I can eat that sort of thing. So now this person is not going to look at it. You see, his first choice was not to kill. So there is this virtue established. Now then, if I am going to look at it and then I change my decision, then I might kill. So if I am not going to do that one, then my virtue comes to fulfillment. So it grows and it stands. So that is this second one over here. The no risk is stored for one restraint. Then when you come over here, you are going to go into this third cage over here, third box. He who is skilled abandons evil things. Kusalochi jahati papakam. Now you are going to be a skillful person. To achieve that one, you can see the condition is written over here. Seeing how things are really as it is. So that is the condition for entering this one. That means you need to use this one. Determination for wisdom. In Visuddhimagga Sutta, the element discourse, Buddha was describing these elements. Buddha said there are these 6 elements. That is this element of extension, element of cohesion, element of motion, element of heat, and the space is infinite, and the consciousness is infinite. Buddha said the element of extension is internal as well as external. But there is no difference between the element of extension that is external and the element of extension that is internal. They are just the element of extension. That's what Buddha said. And Buddha described what is the element of extension that is internal. In our body, we have this hair hair of the body, nails, teeth. I can show you the whole list. So you can see head hairs, body hairs, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, sinew, bones, bone marrow, kidneys, and then this heart, liver, pleura, spleen, and then we have lungs, intestines, mesentery, and then the content of the stomach, excrement. So we are talking about 19 parts over here. If you add the brain to that one, that will be 20. So this is the element of extension that is internal. So the excrement is the element of extension. So the outside also, there is excrement in your garden. And that is also element of extension. And there is no difference, outside ones and the inside one. So the outside, there may be someone, I have done this, maybe a dog or something, or maybe a human being. Then there is this excrement. Do you take that excrement as yours? You don't take that excrement as yours. So now you say, the element of extension that is outside, that is excrement, is not mine. In the same way, the inside, I also have excrement. That is also element of extension. Now I agree that outside one element of extension is not mine. In the same way, inside excrement is element of extension. If the outside one is not mine, then this one is also not mine. Your mind will not fight for this one. It will agree because you put it to the commode and flush it out. So you are happy to say it is not mine. And then you look at the other parts of the body, hair of the body, nails, teeth, flesh, and so on. Now they are also element of extension. So now you say outside excrement is the element of extension and it is not mine. Inside also excrement, it is element of extension. Outside one is not mine, this one is not mine. Hair is also element of extension. So it is not mine as well. If your mind is still not agreeing to it, then you look at outside, there is this excrement, this hair, somebody's hair is there. Do you take that hair as your one? So they are not yours. And so that is the element of extension, the external. And the hair or in the head, also the element of extension. That is internal. The external one, the internal one, both are the same. So therefore, this one is also not mine. So then you cleanse your mind from the element of extension. Wherever in the world, in the universe, whatever the hard in the world, you consider this one as the element of extension. And that element of extension is not mine. And then Buddha talk about the element of cohesion. Element of cohesion is internal as well as the external. And there is no difference between the two. So what is the element of cohesion? That is internal. In our body, you can see there is this bile, phlegm, pus, blood, sweat, fat, tears, tallow, saliva, snot, synovial fluid, and urine. So there are 12 parts over here. And that is the element of cohesion that is internal. So the urine also element of cohesion. So outside in your garden, someone urinated. So there is this urine. That is element of cohesion. Do you regard that urine as yours? So they are not mine. So now you cleanse your mind. The element of cohesion outside is urine. Then it is not mine. So inside also I have urine. So that is also element of cohesion. So in the same way that I agree the outside one is not mine, inside one is not mine. Again your mind won't trouble you, bother you because urine you put into the commode and flush it out. So it is not mine. So in the same way you think about the other parts. This blood, sweat, all those things, starting from this bile and so on. So you cleanse your mind from the element of cohesion, internal as well as external, in the entire universe. You are not regarding this as mine. But there may be an instance that your mind sort of bit upset about it. That is, You are saying blood is not yours as well. You see, we always, when there was some sort of a wound or something, we put a plaster and somehow hold it. Now you are saying it is not mine. But so if your mind get troubled by that one, then you need to teach like a, you are teaching like a small boy. You are actually saying, then you are asking, is urine element of cohesion or not? Yes. So the outside urine is not mine, element of cohesion. Inside one is not mine. Is blood an element of cohesion? Yes. So we just agree the element of cohesion outside as well as inside, it is not mine. So the blood is also in the same boat. So therefore it is not mine. So you cleanse your mind and teaching that way. And then in our body, we have this air going upward. In our stomach, this air going down and so on. So that element of motion internal. And there is this element of motion internal and external. So the air that going out of your backside, you are not going to take that one as yours. Now you are saying that is the element of motion. In the same way, in the entire universe, whatever there is motion, you disregard from your mind as that this one is not mine. Cleanse your mind from the element of motion. And we have to be a bit smart when you are actually thinking like this one. For the example, element of cohesion when you are talking about. If you are saying, well, these things, these are bad things, isn't it? The bile, phlegm, pus, blood, all those things, they are dirty things. But that waterfall, that beautiful, and if you take that one as mine, then you are not doing that job very well. You need to think that it may be urine that actually falling in that one. So then it is not mine. So be practical. And so in that case, you can get rid of like the element of motion. And then in our body, there is this heat. Our body come into this maturity and so on because of the element of heat. Element of heat is internal as well as external. In your kitchen, there is this bin and there is this bin lining, the polythene thing. After 2-3 days time, you open this one and then you touch the outside of that one, you can see there is a heat because of the bacteria and dirty things. So you get this heat. Do you regard that heat as yours? So it is not mine. So in the same way, you consider the inside, this is another dustbin, isn't it? All the crap you are putting inside over here. So because of the bacteria and all the other things, there is this heat. So now consider the dustbin heat I am not going to take. Similarly, this heat is not mine, internal versus external, and from the entire universe, you cleanse your mind as they are not mine. So then you come to this one. You are coming to the he who is killed, abandoned evil things. And you are a clever person at that particular time because you are not taking anything as mine. What is remaining when you pursue this way? Nothing, isn't it? Your leg and your bones, your whole body, everything, house, children, wife, and everything is husband, or everything is gone. They are not mine. Buddha said at that particular time, your mind become pure and bright. Evam paryodanam parisuttam. Pure and bright. You see, our mind became defiled, unpure, because we are holding to these disgusting things. So it become defiled. And if you're getting rid of that one as not mine, it become pure and bright. So this Gatha we are using for two purposes. The one purpose is that there is this something called contemplation of impermanence of all formations. Here it says a monk is troubled, attiyati, and then harayati, humiliated, ashamed of, and jigucchati. Jigucchati means that disgusted with all formations. Whatever formations that you do, then one would be troubled, humiliated, and disgusted. That is what is called contemplation of impermanence in all formations. So, in this particular case, when we are talking about attiyati, that means you are troubled or worried. You see, if I am not going to restrain my mind, what will happen? I look at someone, then I get the covetousness. Next millisecond, I get the sadness. If I go for 8 rounds, I keep on spinning, then my mind is coming to something called sloth and torpor. Sickness of the mind and sickness of the mental states. In other words, I become sick. But if I am restraining, then you can see I am not looking at all. So therefore, I don't get the covetousness. I am not spinning. Therefore, I won't be getting sickness. You see, this one is marked between the second one and the third one, and these paths are opposite for our path that we learn in the second meditation, the 4 need to suffer. And over there, remember that the place that we mark it, it's over here between the second and the third column. So the sickness. So the restraint part is written over here on the top of that one. Since I am restraining, I am not getting sick from that one. I am not going to look. So I don't get the mental sickness, at least you can see. So then I am not getting troubled because of this one. So then attiyati, the troubled part, worried part is gone. And then what is remaining? The next 2 is the harayati. The harayati means that you are ashamed of your bad conduct, lying lies, harsh speech, frivolous talks. Sometimes when you lie to someone without knowing, your hand is coming to your mouth. Oh, I told him a wrong thing, isn't it? Like you are ashamed at that particular time you said this particular lie. So, but when I come over here to this third box over here, am I lying? How do I lie? If I say this leg is mine, then I am lying. Remember that example that you are walking and then someone is coming and motorbike person, hit your leg and cut it. Then when you go to the hospital, doctor is saying we have to amputate it, cut it and put it out. And then at that particular time, you are not going to take your leg home. This is my leg. Now here, so by doing that one, you are actually lying. But do I lie now? I don't, because I say excrement outside is not mine. Internal excrement is not mine. Similarly, all the parts in the body. So leg is not mine as well. So I am not going to say leg is mine, the chicken is mine, the house is mine, wife is mine, husband is mine, children are mine. Because you have discarded those things. You cleanse your mind from all the elements, the 4 great elements, you discarded. So therefore you are not lying. So that part is gone then. The harayati. So there is nothing to ashamed of, because you are not regarding these things as mine. And the next one is this jugucchati, means disgusted. How do I lie? When you are talking about, if I say this food is so tasty, I am actually lying. Because Buddha is saying it is suffering, I am saying it is pleasurable thing. So it is a lie. So how this one is coming? So like the cutlet example, first the beauty, subha, or fair. And then I have the repeated contact. Therefore, I am saying it's a pleasurable. So those things are making up our lies. The line, harsh speech, all those things are made of those perceptions. They are putting them together in a certain way, wrapping it around. So then you are disgusted about those things. So you are giving up those. So at this particular point, you can see you are giving up this determination for relinquishment. Whenever it touches, that means you are giving up something. You see, Sampati Mahaprabhu asked me to draw this one first time, so I actually made it like this, 4 boxes. And he said, no, it is not the way to do that one. You need to draw it this way so that it touches the determination for relinquishment. Because he knew what Buddha meant. You are giving up something over here. You are giving up the perception that it is beauty. You are giving up the perception that it is pleasure. Those things are. Because you saw they are elements. Experiment. What is the beauty in the experiment? Now you are giving up those things. So that is what you are giving up. So in that case, you get the contemplation of impermanence of all formations. But when you come over here, you are in a very high state of the mind. Because someone who is doing it very well, he would see a black space. The space is infinite. You don't remember the description where you see in a day that there is no full moon and no moon and then no cloud. Far away you see space. When Vatupuma Sutta we look at this one. So you go into that state. That particular space has got 10 properties of Nibbana. So it is sort of not living. Space is not living, isn't it? There is nothing for you to sort of take it from that particular place. No one can steal anything. There is nothing in the space. So there are 10 properties. So because of that, you really like it. Some people, when they go to that one, I can describe someone in Canberra actually who went to that particular state. First time doing this meditation, he was so happy and they was coming to me and saying, I want to go that one again and again. So that means some people get attached to that one. So nobody is happy to give up anything unless you see the peril of that one. The danger has to be seen. So when you come over here, only when you see this determination for truth, you are happy to give up. That happiness due to this space is infinite, the pressure things as well. You are happy to give up when you see this one. What is the determination for truth? You see, the Buddha said that all the things in the world is subject to falsity. What is lasting is only the Nibbana. Only the Nibbana. Anything else in the world is falsity. It actually got stuck in my mind when I was reading. Because we have learned this chemistry, physics, mathematics, engineering, medicine and so on. We thought that's the Dhamma. And we thought that is the valuable thing. And I am a scientist. So as a scientist, I was actually, it got stuck in my mind. Buddha is saying this one is completely, what we have learned is false. Falsity. False things. When you examine it, that is true. You see, take the medicine as the example. In 1960s, when you have tonsillitis, what did they say? They say cut it. And 70s, they say don't cut it. 80s, they say it's okay to cut. So is there any Dhamma in it? 60 is one thing, 70 is another thing, 80 is another thing. There is nothing. You see, one professor in Sydney University who is teaching medicine has told these first year students that in the future that we will be teaching you many courses. Out of that, 50% is wrong. And our problem is we do not know which 50% is right. So he is admitting, that the reality. As a scientist, I know when we go to conferences, people are actually saying, other scientists are saying, this is relative science. Today we have one thing, tomorrow we have another, depending on the facts. So we lie in that case. Take one good example is a chemistry. When you are studying proton, electron and photon, you can see the photon, they say that you can't break it. That is it. No more. Today, they say it is otherwise. It's like an elephant. It's so big. And there are these things that they say that it is ups and downs and so on, corks and so on. They are there. So we do not know then, so we say certain things. Even the scientists can't estimate the lifespan of this earth. They were thinking it's 4.5 billion or something. Recently they said, no, it is not 4. We have to add that many millions to that one because we found some element. Actually, Sampati Mahabrahma told this is 8 billion years. this earth. So they can't calculate. So the science we talk about, what we have learned, they all subject to falsity. What is not changing is only the Nibbana. So Nibbana is only the lasting thing. So therefore, when you go to this space is infinite, where you can live, many eons, thousands and thousands of eons over there, that you can live there. The space is infinite, is 20,000 great eons. That is the lifespan of that one, as I can recall. So still now you understand, I can't be there as well, because it is also subject to the same falsity. Only thing that is lasting is Nibbana. So having seen the Satya, Adhitthana, determination for truth, now he is giving up. Otherwise you won't give up. You won't give up anything unless you see the danger, the peril of that one. So when you come over here, you are not going to hold into the truth as well. If you cling to the truth, then again there is this problem. So Buddha said, but you are protecting it. This protection does not mean that you are actually protecting, the chicken has got an egg and you are protecting the egg. It is not in that way. Some people are teaching in that way. It is not that. This is something internal. To put you in the correct side, it is this, let us say there are two people. One is weaker, the other one is strong man. So this strong man would climb a mountain, and when after climbing he would see beyond that mountain there are other nice places, flat places, and then the waterfalls and so on. So having seen that one, he comes down and tell his friend, there is this, beyond this mountain there are these good places. The other person says, no, nobody has told me before, and there is no such a thing. Would that person who climbed the mountain believe the words of this man? Because he knows that this person could not go there because he is weak. So that is like that he is protecting the truth that he has seen by himself. So when we are talking about the truth, we are talking about when you come over here, you have the noble attainment. Noble attainment because these things are not mine. So anatta lakkana, the characteristic of this not self, as seen by yourself. Therefore there is this noble attainment. So out of compassion you went to that friend and said that there is such a thing. And he does not believe it. So what do? You protect what you have seen before in your mind, what you realize. But you are not telling other people. So that's a different scenario. But remember, to see this one again and again, you need to climb the mountain again and again every day. So whatever attainment you have, you need to keep it up. Do the meditation every day and go into that state again and again. So when you come over here, then you can see we are again touching this determination for relinquishment. And then you are going to, with the exertion of lust, hate and delusion, he attains complete extinction. So we will discuss what we are actually giving up over here later on. To help you understand that, there is a wording written over here. Another's utterance and wise attention in oneself and the path are the cause and the condition. The path means the eightfold path. The noble eightfold path is the cause and condition for going there. Another's utterance. The another's utterance means we have to hear from someone. From whom we heard? He heard from the Buddha. With the exhaustion of lust, hate and delusion, one can attain the complete extinction of this one. And the wise attention in oneself. What is wise attention in oneself? That is this Dhammadhatu and Manayatana. Dhammadhatu means these ideas, phenomena. And the Manayatana in the mind and the phenomena. Why are we talking about the mind and the ideas? Why not talk about the eye and the form, ear and the sound, those five? Because we have already done that one. We got rid of it. When? We were saying over here in the determination for wisdom, we said the excrement outside is not mine. The inside one is not mine. The hair of the body, nails, teeth, and then you got rid of all those things. You cleanse your mind. So therefore they are not mine. So there is nothing for your eye to see, nothing for ear to sort of hear. So they are gone. So what is remaining? That when I discarded from those elements, I went to the space is infinite. So that is actually space is infinite is in my mind. That is actually contacting that these things are not mine, therefore I am there. So that is the mind and the idea. So that is what is remaining. So now at this particular point, it is worth mentioning what the definition of this, the tendency to ignorance, avidya anusaya. In the Petakopadesa, it's defined as tendency to ignorance is that you are not giving up your desire and attachment for the higher concentrations like the space is infinite, consciousness is infinite, that sort of concentrations, if you are not giving your attachment to that one. So that is the tendency to ignorance. That's how it is defined. So at this particular point, it's worth mentioning the wet cloth example. Let us say you have a wet towel. And how do you dry it? You squeeze that one, isn't it? And then there is this moisture in the towel. How do you get rid of that one? You put into cloth line. Does it get dry if you do that one? If there is no sun, it won't. Let us say it is sunny but it is raining. Then still it won't. You can't get rid of the moisture. It may be the case that it is sunny, no rain, but still, if you are time to time, if you are putting your hose to that one, it won't. The hose means that you have the craving. You touch that one with the craving again and again. So it won't get dry. Otherwise, this moisture will disappear. So that is what we are talking about here. How did we actually squeeze this one? We say the element of extension, experiment is not mine. You squeezed once. So from all the elements. And then you were saying the element of cohesion is not mine. You squeeze again. And then you are saying the element of motion is not mine. Element of heat is not mine. So you remove that one and then there is this moisture in the towel. That is, you can compare to the space is infinite. Some sort of wetness is there inside that one. So now you are going to give up that tendency to ignorance. That is what you are actually giving up over here. The determination for relinquishment. Anusaya. Tendency to ignorance type thing. And this gatha we are using for another meditation as well. And that is called the Sabbaloke anbhiratasanna in Pali. The contemplation of distaste for the whole world. Contemplation of distaste for the whole world. And in this particular one, we touched upon this one yesterday as well. Remember, we were talking about adhitthana, mental standpoints. And then we were talking about these adherences. And then we were talking about the tendencies in that Halitakani Sutta. Remember? So here we are talking about mental standpoints means we are talking about that you are staying here and listening to Dhamma, that the mind also stand on something. So it would be standing on these, the mental standpoints, this flood of sensual desire, the flood of existence, the flood of views, the flood of ignorance. Those are standing points for the consciousness. Now if I am using this determination for truth, then I can get rid of this flood of sensual desire. Because I know whatever way I try to, live, I can't live. Because the determination for truth is saying everything is subject to falsity. What is lasting is only the Nibbana. So I can feed whatever thing, the food and so on. I can give the medicine, but still I die. It won't last. So then this flood of sensual desire will be abandoned. And the determination for relinquishment will get rid of the flood of existence. The Bhava that you want to go from, you want to live here, you want to go to the divine worlds, the Brahma worlds, coming back to earth and all those things. And for that particular point, I can actually give you a good example. You know that there's this new year in Sri Lanka as well as this India, countries like that one, in the month of April. And at that particular time, the grandma is receiving quite a lot. You know, her children, you know, the sons, daughters and so on. And then there is this children of those ones, the grandchildren also come to her place, and then they give betel leaves and then offer her some gift, like let us say a towel. And then grandma is very happy to see them. I mean, not about the towel, she is happy to see them, these children. And then so she take the towel and put it somewhere, and then the next daughter is coming and offering this towel and she is putting it over there and she is happy. Then the end of in that month, then they are going to their families, and then grandma now look at there's quite a lot of towels here. Now she got a cupboard and she put into the cupboard. Now the cupboard space otherwise she could use for putting her clothes, now occupied by these towels, and it's a problem for her. And but she get a really good chance. One day someone is coming to her do the gardening work, and then by the time she is trying to pay this guy, and he actually wash from the tap and taking his sarong and trying to clean up the dry the face from the sarong. And the grandma is asking, don't you have a towel? No, I don't have, grandma, I never had a towel. Okay, so just wait. And she is going there, she can now get rid of the towels as well, take one towel and give it to that man. So that man is really happy. He is saying, thank the grandma, I did not have a towel, and thank you very much. And so grandma became very happy and smiling. She is coming inside the house. So now she learned something. The next month someone is coming to do the gardening, asks, do you have a towel? You don't have a towel, so he is actually offering the towel. And now she actually becoming happy by giving up the towel as well. But she get a problem later on. She get the supply and demand problem. Because next year comes, the children and grandchildren, all those things are actually talking. What are we going to give to grandma this year? Someone is, don't give towels. She got plenty of towels in the cupboard. Now they are not giving towels. Now the people are coming. Now she can become happier by giving up towels. But this grandma is clever. And she is telling her sons, daughters and so on, don't bring towels. I have given up receiving towels as well as I have given up giving up towels as well. What she meant was a really big thing. That is, taking the towels that I am becoming happier means the form sphere existence. This form sphere world like we live, that is, I have given up that. When you give up the towels, means that I get rid of the form sphere existence. That means I am going to the formless. That is this, the space is infinite, consciousness infinite. So my mind is not going to settle on those spheres as well. So I have given up form sphere as well as the formless sphere. So therefore I am not going to go anywhere. So you are getting rid of the flood of existence. Nowhere. And when you use the determination for wisdom, you are getting rid of the flood of views. How do you get the flood of views? In the flood of views, what you have is, this baby is mine, the house is mine, husband is mine, job is mine, mine, isn't it? So the determination for wisdom, you are saying experiment outside is not mine. Inside is also not mine. Whatever the element of extension in the world, entire world, that is not mine. So therefore there is no view. So the flood of views are gone. If you have the determination for calm, then the flood of ignorance is gone. So all those things are gone. So now you can see, so the mental standpoints or the resolution, and you have done with that one. That is this one part of the contemplation of distaste for the whole world. So one part you got rid of. And that one has got the adherences. Remember we were talking about we are clinging to lying, harsh speech, frivolous talks and slander. But do I have that one anymore? I don't have lie. I'm not lying because I'm not going to say that this excrement is mine and urine is mine, the baby is mine. So I'm not going to do that one. Therefore, this one is gone. So there is nothing for me to adhere to, holding to. And so the tendencies, the next one is the last one is the tendency, anusaya. Remember that we got rid of that one by touching the determination for relinquishment. We got rid of that one. So that this gatha serve for two purposes. So you come to here, this particular box with the exhaustion of lust, hate, delusion, he attains complete extinction. So when you come over here, then you are going to determination for calm. So to understand the determination for calm, let us say that if you have a big rock and then the wind may be coming in 4 directions, can that wind shake the rock? It doesn't. Likewise, the lust, the wind is coming from the lust, the hate and the delusion. It does not shake. Or else you can understand this one. Let us say you are inside the fortress and 3 enemies are trying to creep in to the fortress. So there are these 3 guards not allowing anyone to come in. So what happened those enemies? Those enemies are lust, hate and delusion. If you let them come in, there will be a fight inside. If they are not coming in, so there will be calmness. Because you achieve over here, you are going to the exhaustion of lust, hate and delusion. So they are not there. Therefore there is this calmness in your mind. So that's the way to understand this one. So this one is really good gatha, the good meditation. It is easy because you need to recall to your mind whatever meritorious deeds that you have done. Help in the temple, giving alms to the monks, and or else that rescuing an animal from slaughtering, or maybe you were actually rescuing ants from dying. Whatever little things or big things. Don't consider the little things as sort of not meritorious. Even rescuing ants is a meritorious thing. So don't have to be that I have to spend 50,000 or something to do this one. Whatever the little thing or you have done, you can recall. So then you are here in this first box. And then you are trying to go to the next one. No risk is stored for unrestrained. For you to go there, you recall to your mind the determination for relinquishment. That day, I saved that cow by spending 50,000 rupees. So I am a person who can give up 50,000. Whatever meritorious deeds, then you actually think that day I gave a shirt. So I had the ability to give up my attachment to that shirt. My greediness is gone with it about the thing. This is what Buddha practiced, isn't it? Buddha gave 84,000 gold, 84,000 lands, even there his children as well. So then he got into that, now he has the ability to give up craving as well. What is the difficult thing to give up? The craving. So when you actually used to give and give, then you get the ability to give. Then you see the value of not having it. So let us say you have a land, then you can see you have to maintain the land. The other people are trying to encroach it as well. People are putting crap as well. Now one day you give up the land, then you can say you don't have any fight. You don't have to fight with neighbors or anything like that. The people are putting crap, but it doesn't matter. It is not yours. So After giving up only, you see the value of that one. So you take it to your mind, the determination for relinquishment. You will uplift your mind. Even the devas in the deva world, gods, they went there because they had the generosity. I also have that one. I can actually give up this much. I gave it up. So you come to over here, no risk is stored for one restraint. And you see many people become happy when you come to over here, the second cage. So therefore some people actually stay in there. You recall to your mind the one meritorious deed, and then you get the another meritorious deeds. It's pouring, it is coming for that persons like that. So then because you have the rapture, you keep on recalling that one. I would not say that person is clever. He is clever in a certain sense that managed to give up. You become clever if you go to this one, third box. So in other words, you need to focus on this one. This is the main thing in this meditation. Determination for wisdom. How do we do that one? You look at excrement outside is the element of extension. And that one is not mine. Excrement inside is the element of extension. The outside one is not mine. The inside one is not mine. In the same way, hair of the body, nails, teeth, skin, flesh, all those things are not mine. So whether it is internal or the external, whatever in the universe, whatever thing hard, you disregard as that is not mine. And then the element of cohesion, take the urine example and do that one. And the element of motion and the element of heat. In the entire universe, you got rid of that one. And then nothing is yours. Now you have come to this state. And there is no limit in over here. It's not the space is infinite. Some people don't go to the space is infinite. They are in the fourth jhana. Some people go to the space is infinite. Some people go beyond that one. Consciousness is infinite. Because that how much you know about these elements, and to that extent you can go. So very high level you can reach. So when you come over here, then you are a skillful person, and now you are giving up, the perceptions like pleasure and perception like beauty. We were using this one for two things. Remember, we were talking about this contemplation of impermanence for the whole formations. So three things we were talking about: this attiyati, harayati, juguttati, the troubled ones, and the harayati, you are ashamed of lying, and jigucchati, that means you are disgusted with these perceptions like this beauty and pleasure. So you are actually giving up those things. You loathe those feelings like this pleasure, so on. So you are coming over here, determination for truth. And then you remember you are actually giving up the tendencies. You are not going to go to the space is infinite and hold it. You are saying that one is also not mine, because if I were to be born in that brain, I will live 20,000 years, that is true. That after that one I can go to hell. So what's the point? So it is subject to falsity. Having seen this one, you are giving up all, and then you are going to, with the exhaustion of lust, hate, delusion, we attain complete extinction. So you can remember this grandmother's example as well. And the wet cloth example. The wet cloth example, you are giving up the tendencies. The grandmother's example, you are giving up these flood for existence. The whole gone. I don't want to be in the form sphere. I don't want to be this formless sphere either. So I'm not going anywhere. That's what it is. So if you really come over here, that means you are an arahant. But when you go, normally it does not happen, because of the, your lust and all those things. So some people are within the 30 minutes, they are still in the first box to the second one. Some people go through this whole form many times. It does not mean he attained complete extinction. But the first time he is looking at few things, got rid of it. The second time is removing certain things. So you may be in between. So don't forget about this part, determination for wisdom. But for you to actually come over here, it is important that you got to have the determination for relinquishment. Why? Because you need to uplift your mind to the extent that you are actually giving up even the experiment. You see, for some person, for a farmer, the experiment may be very useful. He might be thinking, I can put it to my vegetable patch. But if you have given up, then you know that you uplift your mind. This, no, I have given up, so you are in a certain higher state. So therefore, it is easy for you to give up this experiment and all those urine also, not mine. So it is important to come over here to the second one, and then you are giving up. So that is the meditation. So let us take 10 or 15 minutes for you to take this onto your mind, and then we will do the meditation.